So, how does a dude with zero gaming experience end up as a country manager at Riot Games, one of the biggest gaming companies on the planet? I mean, I wasn't some esports pro. I wasn't even good at League of Legends. Hell, I didn't even have industry connections. But I still made it happen. Let me tell you something nobody wants to admit. You don't need gaming experience to become a leader in the gaming industry. I know, because I became a Riot Games leader with zero gaming credentials. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. I'm going to break it all down for you. How I closed the massive credibility gap that should have killed my chances. The research I did that gave me inside knowledge no one else had. The interview prep strategy that helped me survive the marathon process. 13 interviews over 9 months. And just so you know, this isn't some I got lucky story. I went from zero gaming industry experience to running Vietnam, Riot's second biggest league server outside of China. This is about doing the work most people won't do. Let's get into it. Here's the first thing that most people get wrong when they're gunning for a big role. They focus on why they want the role instead of why the company should want them. I had two huge problems. I had to look qualified, and I had to look like the best person out of everyone else who was qualified. Let me paint the picture for you. I loved League, but my biggest gaming credential was winning a Magic the Gathering tournament 20 years ago. Not exactly cutting-edge gaming leadership, right? And Riot wasn't hiring a community manager or a marketing lead. They were looking for a country manager for Vietnam. That's a huge market. They wanted someone to build retail operations, build a team from scratch, the whole deal. So if I went in saying, I love video games, I'd get laughed out of the room. I had to become the obvious choice. Here's how I closed the gap. Step 1, make your application look like you already work there. I hired a designer to make my resume match Riot's brand guidelines. Their fonts, their colors, their vibe, down to the pixel. I even borrowed language from their press releases so it felt like my resume belonged inside Riot. Step 2, get someone with skin in the game to push you forward. I didn't just apply online. I hunted down an external recruiter, got them to represent me, and followed up every week. Why? Because external recruiters only get paid if you get hired. They're motivated. They become your advocate. Step 3, become the expert they can't ignore. I couldn't outgame the gaming pros, so I out-researched them. I hired 2 research agencies to give me custom reports on the Vietnamese gaming market. I became the guy with insights no one else had. That's how I closed the credibility gap. But getting the interview? That was just the start. Most people think interview prep is just practicing a few answers in front of a mirror. Nah, if you're going for a job you're not qualified for, you need a completely different game plan. I call it the political debate method, because that's what it is. You're going into a debate where they're going to grill you. Here's how it works. Anticipate first. I knew they were going to hammer me for not being a gamer. So I prepared. I hired a PR agency. Yep, media training like a politician. How to control the narrative, flip tough questions, handle pressure. And after that, I practiced. I rehearsed every hard question I could think of, over and over and over again, until I had tight answers for all of them. Research. I didn't just read their website, I went deep. I hired a League of Legends coach, learned the Vietnamese gaming scene inside out, found out about ELO boosting, the black market economy, the real stuff people talk about, not just what the corporate people understand. Want to use this yourself? Here's how. Step 1. List every single reason they might say no. Write it down. Lack of experience, different background, whatever it is. Step 2. Flip each objection into a unique advantage. For example, no gaming experience became, I bring a fresh perspective from consulting and advertising that can help Riot reach new markets. Step 3. Go deeper than anyone else. Research something nobody else knows. Learn the industry like a player, not an outsider. And that's how I prepped. And it led me to the longest, most brutal interview process of my life. Here's the part nobody tells you when you're going for your dream job. The process is way longer and harder than you expect. But that's actually good news. Why? Because most people give up, and when they quit, it leaves the field open for you. My process? First 4 interviews were over 4 months. Then they flew me to LA for an on-site with 8 more. Then more silence. Then an interview with Nicolas Laurent, the guy who later became Riot's CEO, and then another month of waiting. Most people would have bailed by interview 3. I didn't. No doesn't mean no. It just means not yet.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Every delay, every silence, that's part of the process, not a rejection. Here's how to survive that marathon. Step 1, set the right expectations. Big companies, they move slow. That's not personal. It's just the way it is. Step 2, stay in the game without being annoying. Follow up weekly with the recruiter. Share relevant articles, insights, show them you're still in it and still adding value. Step 3, keep leveling up. Use the waiting time to improve. Take a course, get a certification, learn a skill they care about. Make yourself a better candidate while you wait. And after 9 months of this grind, I got the offer. Was it worth it? Hell yeah. Now you know exactly how I landed my dream job at Riot Games. Getting the interview is only half the battle, so go watch this next video, where I'll break down exactly how to prepare for interviews, step by step, so you can walk into that room with total confidence, flip objections, and prove you're the best person for the job.